Number 20 USC travels to number 13 Notre Dame. Another cross-country trip. I know Lincoln Riley is fuming right now while sipping his matcha or chai tea, whatever he drinks. But it's a huge matchup. Notre Dame can't afford to lose another game at this point. If USC loses this game, that gives them a second loss. Also, not really a spot they want to be in, though they could still find their way in to the playoffs. But what are y'all's thoughts on this game?
What's up, Whitehead? Welcome in. The trend continues for these West Coast teams that travel east. It's been specific for USC. In the last 3 years, they are 2-5 when having to travel at least one time zone east, and a lot of these have been 2 and some even 3. 2023, first year of Lincoln Riley, they lost at Notre Dame 48-20. They did beat first year head coach Deion Sanders in Colorado 48-41, but that was technically a conference game, and that was Mountain Time, so it's not really that big of a travel. Last year in 2024, loss at Michigan 27-24, one score game. Loss at Minnesota 24-17, one score game. Loss at Maryland 29-28, one score game. This year, they've already gotten their win, winning at Purdue 33-17 in a game that they did not cover the spread, and a loss 2 weeks ago in Champaign. They were in Champaign 34-32 against Illinois and the Fighting Illini. So spread 9.5, and they will travel to Notre Dame, the Illinois game, one score game. All of those trends to potentially bet USC to win but not cover.
Notre Dame to win but not cover, right?
Yep.
Yes, USC to
Cover.
lose and cover.
Yep.
Lose but cover. For me, I think USC, like, their question is, can Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane have the Mario Craver and KC Concepcion game? Also, like, something that I noticed, and one of y'all clearly noticed, is the Notre Dame defense turned it around. Just 27 points allowed the last 3 weeks after kind of getting torn apart by Miami and Texas A&M. I think Jade Mayaba is going to be up to the test regardless of how this game kind of goes. And if this indeed does go the way of a shootout, I think USC has a tremendous advantage. Not an advantage. They have will have a great ability to keep with Notre Dame.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to get blown out. Because Mayaba can make all the throws he needs to make. He throws really well with touch. Just go watch his throw to end the second half against Michigan last week. That throw was ridiculous to Makai Lemon with 3 guys around him. He throws, like I said, touch really well. Ball placement is really good. And he made 2 throws in that 2-minute drive that kind of turned that Michigan USC game right before half, where it could have been just 7-7 going to half. Instead, they're up 7. He also has really solid play fakes in terms of, like, handing the ball off like he's actually handed the ball off, but he does a really good job at faking like he still has it. And because of that, it's helped them a ton in the run game. King Miller was really explosive last week. I think he ran for like 150 yards. Plus, if he can find explosive runs like he did last week, again, they can keep scoring with Notre Dame. I think the biggest problem just lies on the USC defense. I don't know how much they can slow down CJ Carr. They do a really good job, USC, at getting to the passer. But outside of that, they are not necessarily an excellent defense. And the thing that Notre Dame has is they can throw the ball really well with CJ Carr and Jordan Faison, Malachi Fields, Jaden Greathouse. And that doesn't even mention their 2 running backs, and Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. So they have the advantage there. I think this game profiles completely almost identical to that Texas A&M and Notre Dame game.
100%.
Which is why the total is at 61.5, and I would go ahead and take the over on that. I think this game has fireworks. But in a game that has fireworks, that's another trend that leans towards USC covering a full spread of 9.5.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said, and I just want to go back to talking about the defensive improvements, and that's what I'm looking for the most in this game in terms of Notre Dame. I've been someone that hasn't really wavered in my belief of this Notre Dame team. Even after their 2 losses, I still had them ranked at 0-2. Just because I think this is a really good team, because at least the offense is fantastic. But now I'm just curious, is the defense, has it really turned it around? And you're averaging up, 10-ish points, a little under 10 points the past couple weeks. You're not going to do that against this USC team. That's not obviously not what I'm looking for. But just, do you have the ability to just not hemorrhage points? Can you get some stops? Can you make some plays? Can you cover somebody? Because going back to the Casey Conception and Mario Craver game, it's not like A&M did anything really crazy fancy. I mean, we had a couple of nice play calls, but they just kind of let people run free in their zone all night. So can you not do that? Because Makai Lemon will just, and Mayava, they'll tear you up if you let them do that. So that's my biggest thing I'm watching for in this game. Anything you want to add, Sanders, before we pick?
Nope.
Cool. Well, Notre Dame's favored by 9.5. JP's already said what he's doing. He's taking USC to cover. I'm also going to take USC to cover, while feeling pretty confident that Notre Dame wins this game. But I'm going to take USC to cover.
USC's going to win.
All right.
I'm going to go out on a limb and
You're not following your trends.
take them to win. I'm going to go against my trend as well. I just have a good feeling about Jaden Maeva in this offense. I have a bad feeling about how CJ Carr protects the football in this game. I think USC gets a few plays there, and I have faith in Lincoln Riley to eventually get over this
I would never have faith in a
Yeah.
coach named Lincoln Riley. But
losing.
you do you.
This kind of game every single time.
That's a good backhanded compliment to give him. I'll allow that.
Yes.
Wait. You said you have faith in him to get over losing this kind of game every single time.
Correct.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a
Okay.
while.
That is exactly what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that I have full faith in Lincoln Riley, but I have faith that he's a good enough coach
That
to
eventually he's going to
eventually
stumble into one.
win one of
sure.
these kinds of games. Now this is one of the higher profile games, and I probably should
It's a-
pick them
it's
to
a
beat
big-
like Northwestern
it's a
or
big
Purdue.
About to say Michigan might have been his winning, getting.
No,
No, that's
that
at home.
game.
That was at home.
That game was profiled completely for them to be at a tremendous advantage.
He's what's the squirrel rat thing in Ice Age?
Scrat. Is that his name?
Scrat, that is his name.
He's Scrat this weekend.
Yeah, I think he gets it done, and I think the Trojans go in and shock Notre Dame. I think Marcus Freeman is distracted. I'm making all this up with the Penn State job. I think that plays a tremendous factor.
If they lose this, the unfounded rumors definitely ratchet up in terms of the Penn
Agreed.
State job.
Well, with Signetti,
Emphasis on unfounded, and
yeah,
with the Signetti
Signetti's
news.
off the board
Yeah.
now. Matt Rule came out and said that he loved Nebraska and wasn't going to leave, which that doesn't matter. But
Look, can he say that when the offer is right on his
right,
on his
about to
desk?
say we have heard that from one of our head coaches before, a couple weeks before he
and
left.
Mullen's
So,
doing the same thing again
I-
already.
I mean, you can love somewhere and still leave it.
yeah,
So
Yeah, I think USC just I think they win this game. I just have that feeling right now. I think that is the other big upset of the weekend, and they can kind of get rolling. And now they really get into conversations about Big Ten championship, which will be hard for them to get into, given Indiana, Ohio State's schedule down the road. But eventually, I just think this team with this head coach is there's just too much there for them to not eventually make the playoff. And they need to win this game, I think, to make the playoff.
sure.
And I think they will win this game. So give me the Trojans to win and cover, of course, in what is potentially one of the last times they play this game for a long while, which
Yeah.
is a damn shame.
Sure. What do you got, Sanders?
Oh, USC. Picking USC to cover. Sorry, I forgot where we were, and I was already thinking about the next game or something else. Yeah, I'll take USC to cover this game.
All right.